Hello there, everybody. Spar Knight 2, aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Demon Slayer. Well, how do I summarize last week's episodes? One, we got to meet Muzan. Got to learn that he's got himself a bit of a cover family. Also, he's very insecure about his appearance. So if somebody said that he looks kind of deathly, that's probably not a good thing. Though if I kind of look further into it, he has lived the longest, as he was the first demon, so I'm pretty sure he might get a little insecure over that he doesn't want to admit that he's, like, I don't know, old or close to dying or anything like that. Which kind of makes me wonder if he's that insecure about whether he looks like he's near death or something like that. Kind of makes me wonder, like, hmm, how close to death is he? I don't know. But I also got to see firsthand his power, and that if he applies too much blood into a victim, then they just kind of fall apart into a bloody mush, which is not. It's not very pretty to look at, to say the least. I didn't want to think about that. Um. Also, for I think I've been doing it wrong this whole time, but this episode might be chopped up a little bit. For I feel like I'm probably doing these reaction reviews wrong, and I'm gonna try to correct that. Mostly because I think there's like some sort of like issue going on with like anime reactions in general, and I want to do this the correct way. You know what I mean? So this might end up being a little chopped up, even whenever people want to go see the full reactions themselves. And I don't know. I want to make sure that I am doing this the correct way. You know what I mean? I don't know. Well, you'll see if this is chopped up or not. I'm still trying to figure out the of it myself. I want to do things correctly, and I want to do things in the legal way. You know what I mean? But getting back to this, another thing that happened was we got to see another good demon, and I had a bit of a miscommunication. I kind of screwed up on this, a misunderstanding. In the 200 years since she has tried, that dude is literally the only one that she was able to turn into a demon. So the others, they're dead. Okay, okay, that makes a little bit more sense, and I feel kind of dumb that I didn't kind of clue in on that one. But anyway, uh, we got to meet also two more demons, which we don't even know what their names are. One seems to have eyeballs in his hands, which I will admit, a funky design, and I totally like it. And the other girl likes balls. So let's go and throw ourselves in and see what the hell happens, shall we? Oh, I don't know how to perfectly summarize the feelings on that one. Okay, so how do I summarize today's episode? They finally got into the fight with who we figured that their names are Yahaba, the eyeball boy, and Tamari, the multi-armed ball lady. So, I mean, no, Sasamaru is her name. God damn it. Yeah, that's right. I called her Tamari. Balls are called the Tamaris. Can somebody kind of explain to me what exactly a Tamari is? Is that just a Japanese name for a ball, or is there some sort of symbolic significance to why they're called Tamari? Please, I'm actually kind of curious about this. However, I'm kind of still guessing about how Yahaba's power actually works. It seems like whenever he closes the eyes on his hands, I assumed it was a repelling effect, but maybe just summons multi arrows that he uses as projectiles, and while his eyes are open, he's able to direct stuff much more freely without having to summon the arrows. Oh god damn it! I'm immediately having an even harder time understanding how Yahaba's power actually works. Nezuko lost a leg. Well, actually, kind of below her knee, but she should be fine. It'll eventually grow back. Don't worry. It'll eventually grow back. I got to see Yushio actually doing a pretty good job against Tamari using the blindfold ability, which she doesn't. She seems to have trouble against. Sasamaru does, which that's pretty darn good. I mean, at least she has some sort of weakness, and that's not being able to follow invisible shit. Then again, you have to be pretty talented to do that. And That was a very interesting way of fighting back against the arrows whenever it twisted around his arm, twisting in in another direction, causing it to unwind itself. That's actually pretty fucking good. I never would have thought of that. And then using the whirlpool movement as well as the water vortex movement. Whirlpool is the same freaking thing. A twisting movement along with the fancy footwork that he did earlier. I believe he said it was the 6th form and the 3rd form combined. Please correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm pretty sure the next episode, which will do the usual recap, will tell me. And chopped off the dude's head. Although I don't think he's dead yet. Part of me thinks that, at least. Because for some reason, the eyeball is now in one of his eyes, or his eyeballs are now back in his head. I just don't know. Something tells me that it would be a little bit too quickly for them to be introduced and then immediately killed. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into the next episode, and I'll see you guys there. Alright, and now we are on episode 10 of Demon Slayer. Well, so we learned the names are Sasamaru, the ball lady, and Yahaba, the eyeball dude. And we kind of learned a little bit about how Yahaba's ability actually works. He's able to direct things, and thanks to Yushiro giving us his sight, which is pretty fucking cool, allows Tanjiro to actually see the arrows in their... Well, he's actually able to see his power move, and it's interesting, as well as trying to learn how to counter it properly. Such as... one of the arrows wrapping around his arm, getting ready to twist it. No, just go ahead and spin in the other direction. It'll unwind it. That fucking works. Good lord. But we also got to see Yushiro actually pulling out some fighting, and he actually did pretty decently, being able to stun, actually pretty darn good. Being able to stun Sasamaru effectively. Mostly because she really couldn't see through his invisibility blood art, which that's pretty darn cool. Now, the episode ended on a bit of a... It kind of makes me wonder if he actually did kill Yahaba. Also, another thing we learned was that they're part of the 12 demon moons, which means that there's 10 more of these guys where they come from, on top of Muzan. Okay, that seems like it's going to be one of those multi-season sort of deals, isn't it? Because even if they devote like an episode and a half to 1 or 2 at a time, that won't be enough time to actually get through all of them and then have a battle with Muzan. Unless they kind of sped through that, which I don't really think the show is going to do that. But part of me believes that eyeball dude Yahaba actually is somehow able to live, because visually, whenever his head got chopped off, he had one of his eyes in his head. So that kind of makes me wonder, I don't know, either he's gonna find some way to sneak off, even though his head's been chopped off, or maybe that was just his actual eyes. Fuck, I don't know. Let's just go ahead and continue, shall we? Okay, so with this episode, we've not only managed to defeat the Yahaba, but also Sasamaru, and we even got to witness the Muzan curse, or the Itsubotsu. I'm just gonna refer to it as the Muzan curse, because I know that's pretty much the same guy's name, but... And now I understand exactly why that one demon was so scared to reveal his name. Because that was a fate that felt like it was worse than death. Good lord. So we also learned that Muzan is the only one capable of not only infecting people and turning them into demons, but also being able to effectively destroy the demon cells in the body. And the curse itself seems to only take effect whenever you mention his name after he's turned to you. Man. While I don't really feel all that bad for Yahaba, I felt, specifically at the end a little bit there, I did kind of feel bad, at least a little bit, for Sasamaru. Also, that kickball match between her and Nezuko was just A+ material right there. We even got to see a little bit of what Yushiro kind of looked like as a human, or specifically the moment that he probably chose to become a demon. And We learned that Nezuko can actually adjust the perception, that she perceives both of them as human, ergo, they are part of her family, which is oddly it's actually very, very sweet on that part. I almost teared up about as much as Tomoya did. That was, she needs a big hug right there, and Yushido definitely earned the head pats on that one. But good lord. This Muzan, good God, he's a piece of work, I'll tell you that. But, that episode ended on a weird note with that, yellow dude. I'm kind of wondering what he's capable of doing. I mean, he stands out like a fucking sore thumb. If you threw him in the middle of a Yu-Gi-Oh anime, you'd immediately assume that he's a protagonist. Especially with that hair. I don't know. But anyway, that was a good week. Those battles were actually pretty darn good. I'm still never gonna get over the freaking kickball match of death. That shit was awesome. And, it really does a good job making you feel for the demons, except for Yahaba. I really couldn't feel too much about anything because I didn't get too much of a glimpse about how he was whenever he was a human. However, we also learned that they weren't part of the 12 demons, the 12 demon moons, because the actual members have a number inscribed on their eye. That's moderately concerning, but that is actually a very interesting... Wait a minute, how the hell do they even tattoo the... I don't even think I want to know how they tattoo the number on the eyeball. That's just... I don't even want to think about that one. That is wrong. But anyway, if you all like this, be sure to let me know. So thank you all very much for watching, and I will definitely see all of you guys next week or in the next video, whichever suits your fancy.